Hello, and welcome to another Raw Sport interview with me, your host and head of sport, Josh Sim, pronouns he, him. Yes, we are back. Obviously, last week we didn't have any, we weren't able to get an interview, but we have two in the pipeline coming up. This one coming up now, and another one coming up in a bit. So, really excited about both. A few housekeeping stuff before I introduce my guest. Obviously, in the video description are our links to our social media and where you can find all our other videos. And yeah, that's really it, really, actually. So I'm really excited to have my guest on, and let's introduce her now. So here we go. So with me, as the title says, I have Cerys Gordon from Warwick Women's Cricket.
Hello, my name's Cerys Gordon. I'm from Women's Cricket. I'm doing business management. I'm in my second year, and my pronouns are he, she, and her. There we go. She and her.
There we go. So how have you been personally? How's the sort of last few weeks? How's everything been?
It's been alright. Like, not a lot's really changed for me in current of the COVID and everything, because I'm working and so I've still been working all the way through, and my lectures have been online, but my seminars have been in person and things. So I don't really feel like lockdown's affected me as much as some people can't go in or can't go to work anymore and stuff. So yeah, just been
That's
kind of
great.
the same ticking over. Just really can't go out and have that release, but yeah, it's been good. It's been okay.
That's great. I mean, you've sort of found sort of a routine, I guess, which is good. I guess that's what people sort of are looking for, when everything around them is so unknown. It's good to have something to kind of that's sort of normal going on. So I to start this off, I always kind of, I always like to know how people got into the sport or the society that they represent, in this case cricket. So for you, I just wanted to ask, was cricket something that you had a passion for and an interest in before coming to Warwick? Was it something that you kind of fell into while at Warwick? What's sort of the origins, I guess, of your love for cricket?
So when I was younger and stuff, we had my family massively into kind of pushing me into sport. So I played football and netball and everything. I did all the sports at school, and then my local cricket club were kind of a thing, but I didn't really they were kind of this thing in my town, and they were oh, that's part of the cricket club, that's a certain you have to be a certain type of person to say that, and I definitely wasn't that type of person. But my best friend at the time, well, he's still my best mate, he really wanted to go to the nets every day, and he'd be like, oh, Kerry's, just come at me and come with me, I want to teach you how to bowl and stuff, so I have someone to bat against and things. So he taught me how to bowl, and then he put me in the nets and would throw rock hard cricket balls at me, and I'd be like, oh my god, this is really scary. And he kind of forced me into cricket. He made me join the ladies team in my town and things, and they kind of adopted me, and they would drive me to my games and stuff. So that was really sweet. I was about 14 when I did that, and then I also played football and stuff. So when I got to Warwick, I was like, oh, I'm going to try these two sports out and see. And women's cricket, really, I just kind of adopted them as my first kind of sport. And it was really nice. They were a really chill, kind of friendly atmosphere. So I was getting proper training and stuff from our exec and things, and I just kind of fell in love with it a lot more than I would. But yeah, it was my best friend who forced me into cricket.
Wow, and that's and from there, a love story where cricket kind of bloomed and blossomed.
Yeah.
How much do you watch cricket outside of uni sport? Do you watch obviously English cricket? Do you watch county cricket? What's sort of the level of interest you have of cricket outside of uni?
So outside of uni, I kind of know what's going on with especially men's, but it's a bit difficult to find out with women's cricket. But for example, today that the men's England are playing against South Africa for their third T20 and stuff. That's currently happening now. Yeah, I think South Africa is still into bat at the minute. So I do kind of try and keep up to date a bit, but there's a lot of like stats and stuff that I haven't quite got my head around. Like I don't really know too much of the terminology. So if it's a big game, I'm more likely to go like down the pub with my mates and like watch the cricket rather than sit and watch it on my own. Like it's more of like a social aspect for me watching like sport outside. But yeah, like for the women's kind of stuff, it's a bit of a shame because we like the women's haven't been able to play as much. But like recently there was an Australian Big Bash kind of thing, and the which like Sydney Thunders kind of won. Like this could be like people could be like, oh my god, like wow, that's really interesting, or people will not have a clue what I'm on about. And to be fair, normally I don't really have a clue when people tell me these kind of stuff. But yeah, like just I try and keep on top of it because being a part of like an exec member and stuff, you want to know a little bit about what's going on outside of the university sport. So
yeah, I'll share with you. Yeah, I'll show you my I mean I am Australian, so my interest stems from, you know, watching Australia Test cricket, and then the occasional Big Bash stuff. I'm not too super into it. I guess yeah, when a World Cup or something like that or a big Test series happens, then I'll sort of clock in and tune in, and then sort of tune out when that's not happening. So, but yeah. So I'm sort of in the same boat.
Yeah, with like the massive tests and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like with the massive test, I normally just like the last 10 minutes because I'm like, okay, this is the entertaining bit. So.
Yeah, just look for YouTube highlights. There's like 10-minute YouTube highlights. I kind of just put it together. Yeah. So you mentioned football, netball, those other stuff that you're interested in as well. Is that stuff that you also kind of watch socially as well?
Yeah, like definitely football. Like I don't live too far away from Warwick, so my local teams Wolverhampton, like Wolves and stuff, and like Aston Villa and things. So I can hold my own in a conversation if I was on about like football teams and stuff like that. But yeah, like I feel like people are like, oh my god, do you support these? And I'm like, yeah, I don't really know a lot about them to back them up. So
I mean they're both having pretty good years, I think. They've both had pretty good starts, so yeah, they're both too good teams to kind of be supporting at the moment. So yeah, no, it's great. And yeah, because I'm a Liverpool fan, so yeah, I get my kick out of watching them succeed at the moment. But
cool.
But yeah, Wolves and Villa,
very good year for Liverpool.
Yeah, fingers crossed it remains. But Wolves and Villa have been doing well as well, so that's pretty exciting. So yeah, I guess moving on to talking about the society and how the year's going. I guess that is my opening question. How has it been for Warwick women's cricket during this kind of weird term one and this kind of strange time at the moment?
It's been pretty good. Like I think we've as an exec we've been really supportive and like tried to run as much as possible. Like the one thing that we wanted to do was if COVID was to stop half the club, make sure that we keep running training sessions and having like online socials and stuff. And I think we've like done really well with that. So when there has been something that's been a barrier, the other half of the other half of the club kind of like pull together to make sure we've ran events mostly every week kind of thing, which I think like but it has been stressful. Like there has been times I'm just massively confused. So but we have our elections in summer, so I literally went into my role as social sec this year, so I didn't even get to run like a proper circle or anything. So I was a bit sad about that because I didn't even get like a term to prepare, so I been massively thrown into it in term one. But it's been good. Like I've managed to run social or something every week. Training we've tried to get access to as much as possible. But yeah, it's been difficult, and I feel like it's been like you'll connect with one person quite a bit, but you're not really sure about the other people in the club because we've been in different training bubbles and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a fair bit I sort of want to go and unpack a bit from that sort of opening statement, I guess. You mentioned training, so how, I guess, I mean, I would be interested to know how have you made it sort of safe for everyone, and has there been sort of what kind of measures have you had to take as a result of us living in a pandemic at the moment?
Yeah, so like hats off to our captains, Ralph and Orla. They've done really well. They like us into like our training bubble groups. So you turn up, and our slots at like Warwick Sport are really long. So we've managed to split the sessions into two and have like six training, like a six bubble of training in one side of the hall and a six group of training in the other. And like if you're not like running around or batting and stuff, you're wearing a mask as much as possible, and like sanitizing as soon as you get in. We bought like one of our family, no, one of our execs, like mom bought like a monitor, so we've been trying to test people when they walk in and stuff, just to make sure people have been like are ready. But women's cricket, like the one thing I found particularly had to take over and run a few sessions was the sharing of the kit, because cricket, the kit's expensive. You're expected to like turn up to a training and then provide you the kit, so we had to like split the kit in half, wipe down the kit every time someone used it, and those kits weren't allowed to be shared in between the two kind of training bubbles. So yeah, it was a bit complex when you like one side would run out of balls and the other side had a few more, and you were like, oh, but we can't actually share, so you'd have to adapt the training sessions and stuff like that. So yeah, it's been difficult, but I think we did really well. Like everybody managed to get training that was like valuable kind of stuff. And when we could have access to outside nets and things, we were using them, and like having that kind of running as many sessions as we could. So at one point we were running 5 sessions a week, and then it like as soon as our outdoor access, like you can't really go outside when it's raining and wet and stuff. So cut down and things. So everybody managed to get like at least a few training sessions in.
No, that's great. I guess, you know, going from training, obviously you are the social sec of women's cricket. So, I mean, how's it been being a social sec? I mean, I've sort of, that's sort of one of the things I guess I was sort of curious about when, you know, when this all happened, and then, you know, what, you know, because obviously socials are very different at the moment. So was it sort of been like taking on that role in March when, you know, full of excitement of all the, you know, circles and all that you were going to run, and then kind of then watching the world kind of collapse and go, no, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's been okay. Like when obviously at the beginning of term I was able to run like a bit of in-person socials. So I tried to run like I did bowling and stuff. So obviously you can split people into groups and things like that. I'm quite fortunate that women's cricket isn't huge, so I don't have to manage a bunch of people. It's obviously grown, but it's not as big as say like I'm not organizing 60 people, I'm organizing 30 kind of thing. So I was quite fortunate for that. Like I ran bowling. What else have I done? Quite a few online quizzes. So I've tried to do a lot of interactive stuff, especially over in the last couple of weeks. I did a quiz last Sunday, and everybody kind of was kind of a bit like, oh my gosh, not another quiz, like here we are again. I made it kind of short things. I think the most important thing to do if you're running like an online social is to make sure it's not going on forever. Like no one really wants to stay on a Teams call for 2 hours. Like try and make it like an hour or an hour and a half max, and try and make sure that you start it within like the first 10 minutes, as people are going to be like, oh, on a call for 15 minutes waiting for everybody to join. I ran like an Among Us online things. We had teams playing Among Us, which is really good. Quite a few freshers turned up to that. So, but yeah, like I did run a few circles in like Kelsey's when it was a lot safer, and like hired out whole rooms and like made sure people were staying in groups of 6 and things, and trying to stick to that training bubble as much as possible. But yeah, that was difficult because you didn't want to like mix with other clubs also, but if someone knew someone, it was like difficult to like stop them saying hello and stuff. So yeah, but I really appreciate the like girls, and they put like an effort to make sure everybody was safe, and there was nobody who was doing anything stupid and stuff. Like I feel like we definitely as a club took it quite seriously.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I can imagine all the kind of virtual socials of sort of, as you kind of listed, have sort of had to happen as a result. I mean, we should mention you guys did a massive sort of bake off event in which you got a lot of people to kind of send in pictures of bakes and all that. So how was that, and was that sort of everything I guess you guys wanted it to be?
Yeah, like so this is like our charity officer's idea. Hannah Colley, she does our publicity as well. That's probably been stalking her Instagram. It's like a little baby, bless her. She gets really protective over it. But yeah, she's like, this bake sale was only meant to be like an in-club kind of like bit of a fun activity and things like that. And then we were like, oh, why don't we invite other like clubs and see what they say, kind of stuff. And it's turned into something like a lot bigger, and we're really like grateful for the clubs that have taken part. We've had like a really like fun amount of bakes. So like in total, I think we've got like 11 or 12 clubs that sent in their like creations and have donated and things, which is massive, like for connecting with the clubs for all this one charity. So our charity is CRYSAC, which is, we wanted to choose like our local charity, so it's Coventry Rape and Sexual Abuse Centre. And we've managed to raise roughly about £120 for them. In like, and people have had fun baking and stuff. It's meant that we've had the opportunity to speak to different clubs and things like that. So it's been really good. Like, it wasn't, no, don't think anybody planned for it to be this kind of successful. It was just meant to be like an inter-club, like it was just meant to be like in our club kind of fun activity to do, and we managed to get loads of other clubs involved. So it's been really good. Like, we've had I had to bake 2 bakes, and I had to bake one of the men's cricket faces. And to be fair, my bakes were horrendous. They tasted good, but they looked awful. And a women's like Lotta, who is part of women's cricket, she nominated me to bake her as well. And I have to say, there was Tic Tac used for the teeth, like strawberry laces for the hair. Like, it looked like a 5-year-old had gone to town on something, but it tasted nice. I think some of the best bakes were from ladies hockey. We had like a snowman and a snow dog. Men's cricket, we had like a foot, which was quite funny. We had like a mini pig cake from another group and stuff like that. So yeah, it was really good. Quite a lot of Christmas themed ones as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is the season, I guess. But yeah, that's great. I mean, look, I can't. I am self-acknowledging that I am not a great baker and not great in terms of the designs department. So I don't think I'd fare that much better in terms of putting together design. I'll just straight up and admit that. So I mean, going back to sort of the other socials, obviously, you know, every society's kind of tried to get freshers involved in some sort of way. Obviously, not as much as they'd have liked, obviously, normally in person and stuff like that. So, but how have you sort of got freshers involved with the society throughout this term?
So I think we're quite lucky with our freshers this year. They've all been kind of like quite confident and like tried to engage a lot. And yeah, our freshers have been like keen for the online socials and things like that. It's interesting to hear what the situation is on campus as well, like their lockdown, and like how some of them have been stuck in their rooms for ages and stuff. So a lot of them joined the like online socials, and I think it was quite important, like if like to make sure that quite a few freshers turned up, so it wasn't just like one fresher at this one online thing and they felt a bit isolated. But yeah, they've like messaging them has always been really good. And like when I was arranging stuff to do in like Leamington, like the bowling or like a meal or something like that, making sure that they knew which buses to catch. And like it seems like pretty obvious when you're in 2nd year or like 3rd year and you're like, oh, like it's easy, like the U1 and stuff, but they won't know that, and they won't have learned that because they haven't had the opportunity to go out. So yeah, and just making sure that they feel a bit welcome. But I think that like I think the freshers have their own like little group chat and stuff. They've been really good with making sure that each other turn up and stuff like that. I am quite proud of our fresh. They have been top quality, so it hasn't been too difficult to engage them and things. So
yeah, there's some sort of there's like proud mother vibes I'm getting, like proud sort of proud of like of a Cubs kind of thing.
yeah.
Let me see. So, I mean, have you guys managed to get many games in this season, or has it been quite difficult in terms of getting matches and stuff this time?
So we haven't managed to get any at all really, because obviously winter's not really cricket season. You can't really play anything like outside. We have like been messaging like other universities like, oh, we were planning like an inter like club tournament and stuff, but that got shut down because of COVID and stuff. But like the only option for, like for cricket would be inside, and obviously you can't meet in groups of more than 6, so you need kind of 6 aside. So it's been difficult. Like, we haven't managed to play any like proper cricket since not even last summer, like the summer before. So all in this training, and I have never played a proper cricket game for university other than like indoor. So it's been it's been kind of a bit bittersweet.
No.
Like I've enjoyed the training, but I want to put it up to something. So yeah.
Oh no, I feel bad. So
Yeah.
I mean, does that change your perspective on like, I mean, obviously you obviously had a big kind of passion for cricket beforehand, but does not playing it for a long time, does that sort of make you love it more? Has that kind of changed it?
So it kind of like with trainings and stuff, it kind of makes them a lot more relaxed, because you're not being like kind of like surveyed for like selection or anything like this. Like nothing's happening, so you can just kind of chill out. If it's like a session and it's not really that important, it's okay to kind of like turn up a bit late or miss a bit. It's made like it wasn't really anything kind of regimented last year at all, but there's less of like the competitive feel. So I don't know, it means that like it feels a bit sad because you're not working towards anything. So last year we would target certain areas and stuff like this before we knew our games were going to be cancelled, and we'd be like, oh, in the summer, like make sure you do your fielding and it'll feel like this outside. Whereas now it's a bit like, oh, we're doing a fielding drill, but we don't know when we'll ever use it. So yeah, it's okay, but it does change your view because you haven't got and like anything to kind of focus on or like look forward to. It's just kind of I'm training to make my own training because it's fun. So it's less competitive, our training sessions are and things. So
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess, I mean, I was going to say, what are you guys sort of looking forward to with the, in term 2 and term 3? But I guess the main thing is getting back to playing.
Yeah. So yeah, getting back to playing, like making sure we can run a few kind of fixtures and things against like local teams, like Coventry University. They've got a new cricket club. So we're looking forward to like arranging fixtures with them. I've got a few friends like in Worcester Uni and things like that, and like just being able to make friendlies and giving the opportunity for everybody to play in the club, because like our club is mostly made of people who haven't played cricket before, so just giving them an opportunity to feel like they're in the game, like having an important role and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess the other, normally term 2, and fingers crossed, we have no idea what's happening. I guess you won't have an idea of what's happening with varsity, and I don't either at the moment. But normally that's an exciting event, and fingers crossed it's going on. But what do you kind of look forward to the most when varsity weekend, assuming it happens as normal? What are you looking forward to?
Yeah. So last year was our first ever varsity, and honestly it was so exciting to be a part of. Like I was part of the training squad and stuff like that for it. The build up towards it, like the tension and the kind of like getting selected and stuff like this. I didn't make the team this year, but I'm positive that I'll make it like next year kind of thing. But honestly, seeing the girls win and watching them, like their little tricks, their kind of like how they're going to be feeling in the moment, because you've been training with them for a year. Like if someone's going to bowl a certain ball, they're either going to smash it or like completely drop it or something, and you can feel like when someone's technique is perfect, you can know that they're about to get someone out. Like that kind of build up and was really exciting for me. Like I watched quite a lot of sports throughout varsity this year, and it was really nice to see like the Coventry, it was their first year of having a women's like club and stuff, so it's really nice. It was like a competitive game. It wasn't kind of like we were like guaranteed winning it, and seeing like what they're going to come back with like in the next varsity if we can play it, seeing like how they've developed as well and things like that. So yeah, it's going to be quite exciting this year. I think we've got a lot of freshers and stuff that have played like a lot of cricket, so I feel like the selection for varsity is also going to be a lot more competitive. So
fingers crossed for you that you make it there.
Fingers crossed. I'm not going to be. I think the pressure would be nice to like be sat down on the sidelines cheering them on, wearing like red and black. But yeah, I think it would be exciting to play as well.
Yeah, I mean, just thinking about it, I mean, it being your first varsity last year, is it kind of? It must be cool to think that women's cricket. I mean, as someone who's played cricket for a while, it's cool to think that women's cricket's sort of getting that kind of spotlight, and it's kind of getting that extra, gaining that extra interest for casual people, I guess, to kind of watch and then kind of fall into as well.
Yeah, it is really exciting to see like just kind of like the reach that women's cricket is having at the minute, and it's really nice to see like I've been playing cricket for a while and stuff, like I can see the flaws and things, and there is like this competition against men's to try and get the nicest pitches, the better training times and stuff, and it's nice to see that we're being put as more of like a priority rather than just kind of like, oh, definitely this will go towards men's and things. But no, it has been really good. Like it's been really nice to see like people who have never played cricket before come into the club, and then now they're learning how to bowl, they're learning how to bat, and it's like they're getting the technique right, and they're like getting people out and things. And like a few weeks ago or like last year, they hadn't even picked up a cricket ball, they didn't even know what any of the terminology is. It's really nice to see people's progression and stuff. So yeah,
it's awesome. Right, I guess now I'm moving on to the less serious, the silly bit of questions that I've got, just to get to know your team more first, and then to get to know you as well. Who do you reckon is the fastest player on the team, if you had to say?
Oh, our first team captain, Ralph, honestly, like she goes to some of the men's training and stuff. She is one of our top players. She is super speedy. I'm scared to face a ball off Ralph, so definitely Ralph, our first team captain.
Oh wow, okay, that's pretty intimidating. Is there someone who's kind of known to be the kind of most organized person on the team, like someone who seems to have like sort of everything in control?
This year, like last year there was a lot more. This year most organized. It wouldn't be me for one. I think like Orla or our captain again, Ralph. They've been very organized. Like Ralph does maths, so she's that typical kind of student who's got kind of everything kind of thought out and stuff. So yeah, most organized, I'd say one of them two, Orla or Ralph.
Nice. Yeah. Who does, I'm guessing you guys obviously, listen to music before a game. Who's the one who kind of picks the music? Is there anyone in particular who's the person who picks it? Yeah.
So yeah, we've got like a Spotify account that all of our members can kind of add to, so we can go to like training sessions and everybody can kind of
cool.
Music onto it. The music that like stands out the most to me is Hannah Arifi. She's got some weird taste. Like it's proper like sometimes some proper drill music, and you just like, this should not be happening after we've just had like a nice calm indie song. Like no, thank you. So yeah, Arifi, she's a strange music taste, I'd say, for her.
Fair enough. Is there someone who makes you laugh like the most, like a class clown, joker type of person in the team?
There's a few that have like, it depends what kind of humor they have, but there's quite dry humor comes from like a Reef, and stuff, and I can laugh at her for ages, and some people will be like, oh my god, like why are you laughing at that, that's quite serious, but she just made it in the most like jokeable way. Who else? Some of our friends has been really funny. Evie, she's again got quite like straight kind of humor things, and yeah, I would say she's quite funny as well. The class clown, I don't know. I think I do the most bizarre things. Like I'm one that will come to the session like in a massive like loud kind of voice and be like, hello everyone, and it'll be like it'll be 9 a.m. in the morning. Everybody's like, oh my god, no, please, not ready for that today. So
I mean, that's sort of the social psych in you, kind of.
yeah,
being that one, yeah.
Try and be the loudest in the bunch. So yeah.
Yeah. Moving on to some questions about you personally. So obviously pop feels like a long time ago since we've all been. But what's the song that you hear at pop and think that's my jam, like that's the one?
That's my jam. I do get kind of excited when Baywatch comes on for the obvious reasons. Like we're seeing quite a lot of people make it, so I'm a bit like, woo! But like before anybody asks, you think of so many songs. You're like, oh my god, that's such a pop song. But Disco Dave's music is questionable. It is repeated every week, but I do enjoy. I do enjoy. Oh, favorite song.
Baywatch is an acceptable answer.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Baywatch. Like, it just means that I can just stand there and enjoy the song, while everybody else gets to get a bit wild.
Do you have a favorite drink at T-Bar? Is there a go-to?
Yes, the fish bowls. They did a green one last year. I can't remember the name of it, but it had like green BK in. I think it had like a bit of lemon and stuff like that. But like a bus stop, 2 for 1, double vodka and Coke before 9 a.m. You could never go wrong, really.
Before 9 a.m. Oh wow. Okay, I'm intrigued.
9 p.m. 9 p.m.
I was gonna say 9 a.m. I was like, wow, that's quite the morning routine. Do you have? Is there a movie that you find it's a guilty pleasure, like one that you kind of are happy to watch and repeat, even though deep down it's not the greatest movie in the world?
So I would when people ask, I'd be like, oh, I'm not massively into chick flicks and stuff like this. Like, oh no, I'd rather watch thrillers and stuff like that, action movies. But I have to say, like the Duff, my sister was obsessed with, and I think I kind of resented it for it, and then I kind of really kind of fell in love with it. So if we're ever having a movie night, we'll put on the Duff, which is. It's really horrible. It's a bit like The Kissing Booth. It's a bit horrible. You know what's happening, but it's quite a good one.
So you kind of from not liking it, it's now become something you like now.
Yeah. I got forced into liking it basically by my sister. So
fair enough. What's your favorite ice cream flavor?
Ice cream. I really like mint choc chip. I'm one of them people.
Straight.
You can't go vanilla.
No hesitation. No hesitation there.
Yeah. You can't go vanilla. If you choose vanilla, that's something else.
Wow. Okay, that's a deal breaker. Apparently. Finally, if I said, women's cricket, you guys are going on a tour overseas and you can go to wherever you want, where would you be pushing to go to? Or even for a holiday, if women's cricket weren't doing a tour, it's just a holiday.
If it was a holiday, okay. I think if we're doing a tour, I'd really want to go to South Africa. I've been there before. It was really nice. I'm quite lucky to have my like some family over there, and obviously it's really good for cricket. If we're going on a holiday, I'd want to go somewhere like Zante or Magaluf or something, and like go through like a proper party weekend and just have some really wild stories. Like that would be my ideal weekend, especially with that cricket club. I think it'd be really funny seeing some of them like in the middle of a club in Ibiza or somewhere like that.
It'll be definitely wilder than Baywatch. I'll say that. It would definitely be wilder than Baywatch.
Yeah, 100%. So I just think they wouldn't, they really wouldn't, like some of them would take to it and some of them really wouldn't. And I think it'd be quite funny to see the ones who like wouldn't take to it and they're just like, nah, this isn't my scene. So
yeah, absolutely. It would be, absolutely. Unfortunately, that will bring this sort of half hour, 35 minutes to an end. It's been great having you. We've put down the socials in that little ticker that's going by. Is there anything else that that's worth mentioning, that's worth plugging, or just tell everyone to follow the socials?
Yeah, so follow the socials. Women's, like University of Warwick women's cricket, on our Instagram. That our Instagram is really good. Like we've got lots of designs and stuff. There's always something going on. Our Facebook group, women's University of Warwick women's cricket as well. And yeah, just kind of like the only news I really have towards cricket is that the England's women's team is qualified for a cup into 2022. But yeah, that's basically it really. Join women's cricket, it's really fun.
Yes, absolutely. If anyone's watching and is like, yeah, I need a sports team to join women's cricket, absolutely put that on the list. Cerys, thank you so much for joining me. It's been a lot of fun.
Thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely. And excited to see what happens for you guys. Hopefully you get a lot more games in the next term or so, and excited to see you guys at varsity as well.
Yes, hopefully, fingers crossed. And thank you very much for having me, Josh. It's been really nice.
No worries. That's it for us, guys. We'll be back with all our programming as per usual coming up. So thank you for watching, and we'll catch you in a bit.